everyone and welcome to my channel. My name's Amanda and I'm here today to share my week 9 mixed media challenge. So this was week 8 and we're on with week 9. So I'm just going to quickly share the free images that are available in my Facebook group. The link's in the description box below. I always try and get that bit out really quick. And then I'm going to get creating and do a page. See how it turns out. Whatever happens, happens. The whole idea of this is to just encourage you to create. Okay? Doesn't matter if it's not perfect. It doesn't matter if it doesn't work exactly as you planned. Nothing matters. It's just paper, and art is fun. Doesn't matter if it doesn't work. Mine doesn't always. So here are the 2 sheets. We've got just a collage background and some images, and this is called Time for Tea. We've got a lovely teapot. Well, you can see what they are. And the sentiments, tea solves everything, and a good cup of tea is like a warm blanket. So get cutting and gluing. If you like mixed media, you can add mixed media. If you don't, just collage. But it's all about just having some fun. Remember, there is no right or wrong. So let's get creating. And we're off. So I'm covering my page immediately with some colour. If you just do a background straight off the bat, it helps relieve the anxiety of a blank white page. And I like to do what I call colour wash. It immediately gives you a background. And here I've used a Tim Holtz Distress Oxide in Broken China. And, you know, I'm toning the colour down by adding more water and dabbing it. So if you want it deeper, you'd add more spray. And if you want it paler and more muted, then you add more water and you can dab it. And you can do that forever and a day. I'm not brave enough to mix colours at the moment on my backgrounds, especially not with the distress sprays, because they react to each other so violently. I can't cope with them just yet. And then here I'm starting to rip up my collage sheet. I always lay my pieces down and I interview them. I give them an interview to see if how they're going to lay, how they're going to sit, and then it helps me then in my brain figure out what I'm going to do on the page. I try not to do a page for longer than about 20 minutes. So you've got this sped up. You know, I challenge myself to do it in quite a limited time. It stops me overthinking. And by me providing you with these images, and the very limited images, you've only got a few, the whole idea is to stop you overthinking. Because overthinking makes it overcomplicated and you don't get anywhere. So I'm going to do a double page spread, and I'm going to do some of the rectangular layers with the collage sheet, just ripping it up. I love it. I love collage sheets. Don't forget, if you don't have mixed media, just stick and glue. You can just collage the whole thing. You can print this sheet out as many times as you want. You can print it to a page, and you can just do like a collage or a glue book page. You know, I do mixed media because I've got a collection of the things. I'm not the world's greatest at it. It's quite new to me, is art journaling, but I'm absolutely loving it. I don't care if I'm not the best. I don't care if nobody else likes my page. I enjoy doing it. And even though this page, I'll discuss, didn't turn out quite how I expected or how I had it in my head, I don't care, because I've learned things along the way. I've had fun. And, you know, I've just been creative, and I've just sat for half an hour. I've answered no emails. My phone hasn't gone. And I've just sat and had some me time. This is my new me time. I don't need to go to the beauty salon. I just like to work in this art journal, and I am having the best fun. So here I've found this horrible cheap scratchy lace, which I nearly threw out. And then it just occurred to me, I thought, well, I can use that as texture in my art journal, and it's perfect because it gives texture. It's quite stiff, so it sits on the page nicely, and it actually absorbs colour really lovely as well. I bet it would be great to use it on like a jelly plate, or do some paint stamping with it, or whatever. So have a think, have a look what's in your stash. Go and shop your stash. You don't need to have expensive mixed media mediums to create an interesting page. Go and see what you've got. Lace, that lace is a medium. The paper's a medium. Okay, stamping is, paint is. You don't have to have tubs of fancy modelling paste, tubs of this, tubs of that. You don't need it. Go and shop your stash. Okay, I challenge you. So here I'm interviewing again. I'm interviewing and gluing these down, and I find that it's easier to glue the netting onto the back of the paper and then add the whole entire thing to the page with just loads more glue. It does stick down, I promise you. So if you've got any of this, give it a try. It's awesome stuff. So the reason my page didn't work out, I'm going to explain now, and I will probably mention it at the end, is because I have made my base layer out of Distress Oxide sprays, and I did not seal it with a matte medium. Now later on in the video, as my process goes, I really wanted to add some acrylic paint marker around the edges of my page, like a Posca pen. But because I hadn't sealed that matte medium, the white acrylic pen just soaked straight into the page and the distress ink took over it. And so I couldn't use it. Now, did I give up? No. Am I completely happy with my page? I'm happy, but, you know, I wished I'd have thought on. So when I'm saying about using your matte mediums to seal your page, it's quite important if you're going to use a distress ink on your base layer, if you want to put anything else over the top other than stamping with permanent ink. If you want to add any paint or any gel pens or anything like that, you really need to seal it. And you can do it, even though it will react with it, you can still do it, you just need to be careful. I actually don't think I'm going to use distress sprays in this way again. I'll use them for other things. I think I'm going to stick to acrylic paints and my watercolours. I just think that when it's just easier to put other things over the top of those. That's my findings. I'm still very much learning, and more often than not, when you do something that doesn't work, that is a good thing, because you've learned something. I've learned that what I've just rambled on about, and so next time I'll think on, and if I do use distress sprays or distress oxides or distress inks in any way, shape or form on a layer where other things are going to go over the top, I know it needs to be sealed. Okay, lesson learned. Lesson learned. So here again, I'm just arranging and I do it quite often because, you know, I want my page to be planned. You know, once you get really into art journaling, you will find that you don't need to plan as much and that things can just happen organically. And while I'm here blathering, I'm going to recommend a channel to you that was recommended by one of my followers. I can't remember who recommended it, but it's absolutely, this woman makes my day. I absolutely love her. And her channel is called Artsy Erin. So it's ARTSY, Artsy, and then Erin, ERIN. And she is the most fun to watch. She does her mixed media art journaling. It's beautiful, totally different to what I do, but it's beautiful. And she does a voiceover and speeds it up, and she's so fun. She's fun to listen to, and I'm not going to say it's unusual, but I think sometimes we can get overwhelmed watching artists, because they all seem to know what they're doing and they all know all the technical terms. But Artsy Erin, obviously knows what she's doing. Her work's fantastic, but you just feel like you're sat listening to a friend. It's brilliant. Go and check her out. So then I'm just adding some stamps. Now, I've been looking online at stamps for my mixed media, and some of them are pricey. So I decided to shop my stash. Go and shop your stash for stamps. Have a good look through all of your stamps. You will be surprised what you probably already have in your collection that you can totally and utterly use. And don't forget, when you're stamping, you can stamp with ink, you can stamp with watercolours, you can use watercolour markers and run those over the top of the stamp, spray a bit of water or huff on them like this, like that, and you can stamp with those. I've even seen people stamping with acrylic paint. You don't have to use everything for its proper purpose, okay? So have a think, what could I do? What can I use? What have I got in my craft room? Because believe you and me, I know you've been buying stuff for years. I know you have. I know you've got stuff. Shop your stash. So here I'm adding some dimension to, I do like adding dimension. It doesn't always make your book close great, but I just think it looks really cool. So I'm adding dimension to that teacup there. And what it also does is it casts a kind of shadow on the page. And so then I don't have to do the shading. That shading thing, because I'm really not very good at it. If I can avoid it, I will. So yeah. But I'm sticking the teapot down straight onto the page, and then I will put dimension on the cup. I don't want double dimension. If I put dimension on the teapot, then I've got to put double dimension on the cup, and it all just gets a little bit silly. I've run out of tape, that's why I'm throwing it. I'm not having a paddy. Well, I kind of was, but... so I'm absolutely loving how this page is turning out. I'm just going to cut off the clock because I want it peeking off the edge of the page. I like that. I think it's nice to have them staggered. And then I'm looking at my words. Now, I started putting my words together and I thought, why doesn't this make sense? And I realised shortly that I've lost one of the words, so I had to go and print out some more. So here I'm using a product that's new to me. And they're called Neo Colour 2, and these are water-soluble wax pastels. I only got a small tin because they're expensive, but the vibrancy in the colour in these is great. So you just basically scribble it on wherever you want it, right? There's no rhyme or reason to it, and then add water to it. And look at the vibrancy of that blue. It's absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. I love it. And you can end up with like a watercolour, well, it's watercolour. What am I on about? I'm repeating myself. But it's vibrant and it's lovely, and it's a different kind of medium to just try. I like trying different things to see what works and what gives me, because I like the vibrant colours. Although we've got quite muted images, you can still put vibrant colours on there. And I kind of wish I'd stopped here, but I carried on. You will see. And because I couldn't add the white marker pen like I wanted, my page doesn't turn out perfect. But you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And when do you know that a page is done? You don't. It tells you when it's done, and you'll feel like it's done. And so if you come away and you feel like it's not done, go away, have a brew, go and let the dog out or the cat out, and come back to it, or come back to it the next day, and, you know, put fresh eyes on it. And it may just be that it just needs a few, I don't know, splatters or dots or a little bit of something, but it will come to you. So don't worry if you feel like it's not quite right. It could even come to you in a few weeks. You might learn a new technique and think, I've got it, that needs to go on that page. And that's why we're doing it in a journal, because you've got the opportunity to go back and work on them further. Just because you've finished doesn't mean you can't go back and add some more things and the next day or the next month or even years later. Some people work on art journals for years and keep adding to them, and you can totally and utterly do that. And that is what I will be doing. Once I get to the end of this journal, I'll go back and I'll revisit it. So I'm inking the edge with the distress ink again, because I've obviously not learnt my lesson about using distress ink on my art journal page. I just think it's got its place, and I just think that the way I want my journal pages to turn out, using distress ink is not going to be something that I do moving forward. It's not. I'm going to stick to the other stuff. I'm falling out of love with it. I am. So here, I'm starting to do my words, realise that I've got a word missing, and I have to go and print some more out. I was well annoyed. So I stopped to print some more words out and had a big disaster and forgot to switch the camera back on. So here's my finished page. Unfortunately, I was merrily creating away and I hadn't pressed play. So here I've just added some paint, and I've used quite a vibrant teal, Blue Lagoon by Golden. And what I've done is, if I just quickly show you here, I put some on my baking parchment and then I used an old plastic card to just make marks. Okay, I like it. I think you don't have to love every page you do. I think it needs something else, but I can't decide what. And so there's absolutely no shame in leaving it as it is and coming back to it. I may well go in with some watercolours and do some shading. I'm not sure. It's lacking something, but I'm not quite sure what. So I will return to it another day. I hope that's given you some ideas. I got quite messy. I've enjoyed myself, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.